So the first mistake was not having good genetics, all right? So for this one, guys, you're gonna wanna talk to your parents and say, hey mate, what's up? What happened here? What happened here? What is going on? I'm just kidding, all right? Don't listen to that, jeez. All right, what is going on, guys? Fraser here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, in today's video, I wanna take you through a bunch of ab mistakes that I made over the years of training. These mistakes are gonna save you a ton of time because frankly, the best thing you could do as a beginner is look to someone who's already done what you have done and learn from their mistakes, because that is what is gonna save you so much time. You're gonna avoid the entire trial and error process, and that's super duper important. So we're gonna get into that in just a hot minute. First thing I need you to understand is that abs is a bit of a tricky situation because it is where people make the most mistakes, and I see it in the gym all the time, people screwing up on these. I used to screw up on these, and once I actually stopped making these mistakes, I started to make so much more gains, and it was just, it was fantastic that I cut out all the BS. So it is hard, okay, but once you get down the necessary things you need to do, it will become easy, guys. You just gotta do them at that point. So let's hop into the first mistake, and that is gonna be in regards to using too much momentum or some sort of cheat rep. Now, the biggest culprit of this is gonna be done on the hanging leg raise. A lot of people are gonna kick their feet up and all that kind of stuff, and it's just not a good idea. So instead of using that unnecessary momentum, looking like an absolute idiot, not getting any ab engagement, you're getting absolutely nothing out of that. You're not getting any ab contraction, you're not getting any tension put within the abs, which is what we're actually trying to grow. Instead of doing that, what you need to do is come to a complete stop down the bottom, okay? So for a hanging leg raise, you wanna drop your legs and then let them hang, okay? Don't let them come back, let them stay still, and then initiate the contraction using your abs. Now, something that I never understood as a beginner was the kind of purpose of working out and the purpose of bodybuilding, what your intention is going into the gym. And it's super important to get down pat, guys, that it's more than just moving weight from A to B. It's about getting a necessary contraction and using that weight to overload the muscle. So say you're training your abs, you know what? In a crunch, you don't want to be flowing yourself up because it's not about reps. It's about the quality of the rep. That is what is most important. Which leads me into the second mistake that I see most people make, and I frankly made a ton, was getting ineffective contraction. For this example, I want to take the crunch, the ab crunch, just as simple as all hell exercise, and you see so many people screw this up, okay? Either they will get ineffective range of motion, or they just, they just won't even contract their abs properly. Now I'm gonna give you a super duper easy technique in a little bit that's gonna help you get a better contraction with your abs, but for the most part, guys, you need to be focusing on getting a contraction because that's the most important bit of bodybuilding. It's about stimulating the muscle, and as such, afterward, it's gonna grow. Name of the game, guys, stimulate and it'll grow. So the mistake that I used to make all the freaking time, guys, is a big one, and it's a big tip that you can use to actually get a better contraction within your abs. And that is gonna be along the lines of breathing, okay? Proper breathing when you're doing a rep, it's so important, but the most important when it comes to training your abs. And the reason is, right, breath is very controlled by, your torso, your stomach, and all that kind of stuff. I want you to do right now, I want you to take a deep breath in and then try to contract your abs. It's very fucking hard, all right? Now take that same deep breath in, then breathe it out, and you'll notice that you can contract your abs so much easier. And the whole entire fact of that is you should be breathing out fully on a ab exercise. So the example we're gonna use again is an ab crunch, and from the bottom, deep breath, breathe out, and hold that contraction at the top. I guarantee you, if you don't actually breathe out, you'll struggle as all hell to get a contraction. Now, as a beginner, what I was focusing on and what I think a lot of people focus on is, nailing down the basics and all this kind of stuff, and kind of neglecting certain things because you, one, probably don't know how to do them, two, just, are none the wiser to how to do it or what it works or anything like that, or even that it exists. And I want to shine light on that because when I started out, I only did bodyweight crunches, I did hanging leg raises, but I neglected a lot of things within the abs or the six pack that are very important to actually developing a super impressive midsection. And that is going to be in terms of exercise selection. So that is the mistake I made, was improper exercise selection or just limited exercise selection. So I was only choosing, a hanging leg raise, a crunch. I was sticking to those two. And while you can make significant progress with those, you're limiting yourself. And frankly, if you're gonna do that every single time you hit the gym, you're gonna be bored out of your mind by the 10th workout that you actually do that. So exercise selection and variety is super important, guys. Now I've made a complete video that goes into every muscle that is within the six pack and how to actually target them. 3 separate exercises for each individual muscle. So I'll attach it up there or there, wherever it is on the YouTubes, on the phones or whatever. Click on that, go check that out when you have a minute. And I guarantee you guys that'll help you out with your training. Now, another thing that I did as a beginner was just be a little bit of an idiot, okay? And by that, I mean, I thought certain muscles like the abs, the calves, the muscles that you kind of want to neglect, you don't want to pay attention to, don't need that much attention. And that's just, that's just BS. It's a total crock of SHIT, okay? And the reason for that is, guys, things like the abs need a lot more attention than you actually understand, okay? You can't just throw in 2 sets at the end of a workout and be like, that's it, that's done, I did some abs, I'm good to go, let's go have a burger from McDonald's. No. The best thing that I did to actually make major improvements to my abs was to train them not only more frequently, but with a higher intensity and focusing on a little bit more of conditioning. Now, what I mean by that, guys, is I did it more frequently. So I'm gonna train abs 3 to 4 times per week, year round, okay? Because it's not that hard when you actually break it down to those small intervals. Now, I'm only gonna do about 5 to 10 minutes of continuous ab work within that sessions, okay? So instead of doing, 3 sets, resting, 3 sets resting, I'm gonna do exercises back to back to back to back to back to back, okay? And doing that, not only do you get your cardio done in that session, you get your conditioning, you get your anaerobic capacities up, but you also are focusing in on your midsection a lot, and it's a bit more fun that way. If you have to rest after every single set of a boring exercise, then it's just not going to be an enjoyable process. So focus on actually giving them the attention they deserve, because 5 minutes once a week is just not gonna cut it. I guarantee you guys, once you up the frequency, up the actual intensity and the volume, you'll start seeing crazy results. Now, on that note, I would not recommend training them every single day, although I know a lot of people say that. 3 to 4 times per week, if you're training them properly, is gonna be more than enough. All right, guys, so that is gonna wrap up the 5 training mistakes that I made for abs. Now, there's one more, and that is gonna be in regards to nutrition, okay? Now, I don't mean in the fact that, what a lot of people think is that abs are made in the kitchen. That just couldn't be further from the truth. The real truth is that they are built in the gym, revealed in the kitchen, okay? It's so important to understand that they are not built in the kitchen. The only thing built in the kitchen is fridges, microwaves, and stoves, and all that kind of stuff, and good-ass meals. Speaking of meals, if you want meal plans customized to you, you're struggling with that, check out the link in my description. I'd be happy to help you out. Now, with that being said, guys, one last thing. If you are wondering, what the hell do I do now? You know what? You've told me all these mistakes. Where's a workout? Go check out my YouTube channel. I've got tons of workouts on there. You can do them from absolutely anywhere to actually develop your abs. And as such, guys, there's no excuse for you not to actually be working out, because all the exercises, all the resources are there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, comment down below anything you want. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Arigato, Mr. Rabato.